And I think the flywheel in any ecosystem happens when we're incubating and launching startups and innovation faster than we can keep count. And you can only hit that type of scale when we do initiatives like this. All of us got access to APIs simply by making a phone call or not. So at some point,
technology focused back. It was also meeting of the minds, and the rest is history, as they say. But an initiative like this basically formalizes the whole concept of externalizing your capabilities. One-off APIs, when you go specifically being technical, one-off APIs are still okay for very specific initiatives, but building a sandbox and opening up your capabilities starts standardizing a lot of things, whether it's about the authentication, session management, etc., and it only accelerates innovation. So the whole step towards making a sandbox is a huge step towards standardizing the whole interaction between the financial institutions and fintechs. So congratulations on that.
Banking products, and I think that is something that perhaps in '95 was also not necessarily obvious, right? Component. I think a lot has been said about how in India we have built out this API railroad, right? Some of it by the government, whether it is Aadhaar, a lot of innovation here, and we are really excited. I think a lot of our startups have worked with YES Bank, but that has always been, I call Ritesh and say, hey boss, we need this is going to be a hot company. I know there are only 2 people right now, and he's been sort of forward thinking in a couple of cases, certainly to help us, and we've been beneficiaries of it, but now I think it democratizes it to the masses.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Ritesh Pai. I'm the Chief Digital Officer for YES Bank. Proud to say that today we have launched the API Sandbox and the Developer Hub. This is our idea of creating a completely virtual digital banking experience, where I think a lot of startups can actually come, try and find out which are the best APIs that will suit their products, build their own UI UX by orchestrating all these APIs, and they will have a range of APIs to choose from so that they can quickly create their products, run the prototypes, and test the same in production as soon as possible. So one is, of course, that it's more like a do-it-yourself kind of a mechanism where people can come, identify on the website, find which is the best fit API for their product, because APIs are like various APIs in nature. The one which will suit best to your products, that can be done. These are all built on agile microservices, which means that the orchestration of APIs can happen. They can actually create wrappers around multiple APIs and thus build the overall efficiency in the product execution. And thirdly is, of course, the vast range, right? We are talking about some 50 odd APIs going live. By the end of this financial year, we are looking at almost 100 odd APIs to go live. In a steady state, we will be looking at getting all our partners also into the ecosystem where their products and services could also be consumed, so that this ends up becoming a one-stop shop for all the startups and the fintechs who want to build their products with us. I think in the coming days, we are going to run a lot of hackathons, ideation initiatives, so that we continuously improve upon what has been built, so that we remain up the curve throughout. I think as far as YES Bank is concerned, I think innovation was always our forte since inception. Technology and innovation was something that we have always thrived on. I think this is something that you can find in the DNA of every YES Bank employee that you talk about. I think in 2015, when we actually embarked on the journey of API banking, and today that we see the launch of this developer hub, I think these are all the learnings that we have had in the last 4.5 years, which has now translated into this particular initiative.